Okay, it's Michael here from Custom Bike Fit, and I just wanted to shoot a video about aero bars. I keep talking about aero bars and the importance of them, and we had a client in about just a little over a week ago on a CPO time trial bike, and he'd never really been comfortable, and he's doing another Ironman in May at Port Macquarie, and he promised himself after his last Ironman that he would get a professional bike fit. So these are the bars that came off his bike, and I'll show you the ones we've replaced these with. Really, there's three components to a set of aero bars. We've got the base bar, and this is a 3T Mistral. This is a carbon base bar. And then we have the arm pads, or the arm rests. And the third component really is the extensions. So you can see here, with the pads themselves, there's not a lot of movement in them. We can move them in and out, but we can't move them back and forth, and we can't easily move them up and down. Okay, so that's a big restriction. And one of the issues for this particular rider, that his hip angle was closed off, and he's just sick and tired of getting off the bike and not being able to stand up straight and get into his run. And that's one of the compelling reasons. That and the fact that he's just not comfortable. These are the compelling reasons for him to get a fit. And you can see here with these extensions, this is what's called an S-bend extension. All right, and they put the wrist under a fair amount of pressure because you've got to cock your wrist to get hold of the end of the extension. The other thing with these extensions was they're just too short. So rather than having his elbow on the pad, he ended up with his forearm on the pad. That gave him neck and shoulder pain because he wasn't skeletally supported, and it wasn't comfortable with the position of his wrist. So we put on a set of profile design bars during the fit process, and I'll show you some pictures. And he was really impressed with the position we were able to get him into and the level of comfort, and it really opened up his hip angle. So I will show you what we've done because he's coming in to pick up his bike in about an hour's time. Okay, so here's the bike, and it's pretty much finished other than the fact that there's no bar tape on there, and the client's got some bar tape, he wants to put it on himself. So this is a CPO Venom. It's a fairly old time trial bike, and to be honest with you, it's a little bit small for this particular rider. And originally with those 3T bars, you can see here the amount of spaces underneath the stem. This was extended way up here, and that can cause a fair bit of flex if you've got a steerage tube that's too long. We decided not to drop the bars all the way down, simply for the reason that it would have put the base bar at a very low position for this guy. And at Port Macquarie, there's a fair amount of time you're going to have your hands on the base bar, so we didn't want to drop it too far. We've dropped it about 30 millimeters and cut the steerage tube. But you can see here we've put on it's a profile design. It's called a 50A base bar, and that runs independently of the extensions. You can see in here we've got a riser kit. I've used the 30mm riser. If we need to bring him up some more, I've got a 40, a 50, a 60 in stock. You can go up to 70 with profile design. And then we've got these 35A extensions, and you can see I've tilted the base bar just slightly to give a bit more angle. That makes it easier for him to come into the pad, so they're not actually going to be flat. They're going to be set at an angle as well and just meet his elbows, and then his hands will come out to the end of the extensions here and rest. So the idea is that he has his elbow on the pad and the hand at the end of the extension. In this case it will be his thumb on the TT lever here, so that you can just change gear without shuffling back and forth. You see a lot of that when the extensions are too short. So again, the three components here, we've got a base bar which is running independently of everything else. I really like that setup. And then we've got the armrests, and you'll see in here with these profile armrests that the amount of fit options we've got 90 different fit options just in the pads. So we've got 15 holes there. We've got 2 different series of holes in the bracket itself, and you can flip them. So there's 90 different fit options there. And then even with the extensions, you can see we can lengthen and shorten these extensions. And all of these 3 components, the base bar, the extensions and the armrests and brackets, they're all available individually. So if you're thinking, for example, about, oh, I've got a set of Aero bars and I really like them, but I don't like my extensions. Well, we can change the extensions. The extensions are $110. In this scenario, this whole upgrade came in with labour around just under $700. So that's the base bar, the riser kit, and the extensions, the pads, the brackets, cutting the steerer tube, fitting the new bars, running some new cables, etc. That came in under $700. But it could just be as simple as changing the extensions, $110. Particularly if it's just a clip-on bar with a road bike. So just something I wanted to share with you, because I really do think this is important. Aero bars play a huge role in rider comfort, in keeping the hip angle in an open position so you can run well off the bike, and also from an aerodynamics point of view, getting those hands up closer to the face, reducing the frontal surface area, you will just go quicker. So here we have the finished, or the final product, and we can see here we've opened up the hip angle. The hands and I are now higher than the elbows. We're locked into position, so a lot more comfortable. The position's more sustainable. We don't have to shuffle the hands back and forth to get to those TT levers, and we shouldn't have any issues running off the bike with that hip angle open. And a happy customer.